anime today fundamentally is a younger person medium. Gen Z and Gen Alpha are at the core of this fandom. When you look at global anime fandom, the global consumers, or teenagers specifically, anime fandom is just as big as, say, Beyonce or LeBron James. It's actually bigger than BTS from what we see. It is global, it is large, outside of Japan and China. And today, everything I'll talk about is going to be outside of Japan and China because that's the markets we focus on. Outside of Japan and China, we see this audience to be about 1.5 billion strong. That is the anime-interested audience. And it is very diverse. We find every gender, age, background, culture in the fandom. There is anime for everyone, and everyone has anime that they like. And the common thread that connects all of them is their deep connection to the stories in anime. When we hear from teenagers across the globe, 40% of them tell us that anime has had meaningful impact on who they are as a person. 30% of them tell us that it has influenced their outlook on life. 78% of them tell us that it has strengthened their friendships and relationships. So that's just not a entertainment in the traditional way we speak. It is identity building, it is community forming medium. It's essentially helping a generation find its people. When we think about the fandom, there's three concentric circles. There is the core fan, who this is not just something that they watch, something that they live. Then there are the committed fans who are in the fandom for...
Do you have a sense on the size of each of those?
Yeah, the core fan is about 10% of that 1.5 billion that I mentioned globally. The next biggest is the next concentric circle that we call the committed fan, where they're in the medium for a particular genre or a particular IP or the community itself. That's about 40% of the audience. And then the outermost circle is what we call the casual fan. They're in there because they got introduced by a friend, or they like the stories, they like the characters, and that's the biggest part. We have fans across that spectrum within Crunchyroll. About 25% of them are core fans. So we have a huge part of the casual fans because they come in, because they're part of the core fans' friend circle. We want to be the ultimate home for global anime fans. We're not trying to be something for everyone. We want to be everything for that anime fan. And so we are essentially focused on building purpose-built experiences that truly feel worthy of the medium.
I do want to talk a little bit about that flywheel. It does seem to be fairly unique to anime, where we saw the video where there's a lot of conventions, merch, there's the theatrical experience. Crunchyroll seems to be owning every element of that. Could you take us through that business, also bringing it into Asia a little?
Yeah. Look, I think our strategy around Flywheel, again, comes to a fan truth, right? Like, fans tell us while their fandom starts with watching the show, they want to live their fandom. And so we have created this 360 experience that we think delivers on that ask from the fans. Streaming, obviously, is the largest touch point, gateway into that fandom, but the rest of the spokes of that flywheel build on it, but reinforce each other. Digital manga, games, events, merchandise, theatrical. So we introduced digital manga as part of our subscription service in US and Canada last year, 400 plus titles. Fans love it, highly engaged. Gaming, you saw in the video, we have a part of our subscription service is our game vault with 100 plus mobile games that are freely available to our members. Almost every anime fan is a gamer, not the other way around, but they want to expand their fandom into games from their IP. And theatrical, you mentioned theatrical. Fans want to watch their favorite characters and favorite stories on the big screen with friends and family. It is a communal thing for them. And so it is a it's a value proposition that we feel it's important for us to deliver on, but it's also a big way for us to connect Crunchyroll with the fans across the world. And so it's a core part of our fandom. We're trying to bring all of those things to fans around Asia. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle was a movie we brought to fans in Southeast Asia. Huge reception for it, so theatrical, events, gaming. Our intent is to replicate the Flywheel in every region and every country we show up. Speaking about Asia, again, Asia for us is not just a growth strategy, it is part of our core global strategy. We heard from speakers today, Asia is not only a cultural connection to anime, but it's also one of the fastest growing consumer markets, consumption markets. So it's really important for us. One thing I want to share here is we are going to be expanding deeper into South Korea and Taiwan. Taiwan this summer and South Korea later this year. Taiwan is a high value market. Already anime is mainstream. Korea is one of the fastest growing anime markets in Asia. So we want to bring more content, more localization, more fan engagement, and a deeper community connection. So I'm excited for that this year in this market. But in general, in India, for example, it's one of our fastest growing markets in the world. It is the third largest anime viewership market outside of US, Japan, and China. We literally entered the market about 3 years ago, summer of 2023, and last year it showed up in our top 10 markets around the world, and this summer it's already in our top 5. And so we've doubled that market every year in the last 3 years. Philippines is another big market for us. It's our largest market in Southeast Asia. Again, same thing, doubled our engagement in the last 6 months. Thailand, we essentially doubled our investment into the content and localization starting February, and we're already seeing 4x our viewership engagement. And it's interestingly, Thailand is number 4 globally when it comes to engagement on Crunchyroll. Wow. And so this region has like high avidity for anime, and when we deliver on our promise, fans show up.
Again, because everything is so free in India, in exactly the markets that you have spoken about, it's legal, it's on YouTube. What is it that is keeping these consumers paying for a subscription in the markets that are notoriously difficult to get retention on a customer?
Yeah, a big part of it is convenience, right? Like you mentioned, fans can find content at a lot of different places, and what we are trying to do is create one home where they can find all of this content in one place, but also localized into all languages that they want to access in, and as quick as 30 minutes from when the show is broadcast in Japan. And so I think that's a big part of the value we are bringing. The second piece is the Flywheel, right? Like we are giving them the opportunity to connect with their fandom across the Flywheel and not have to be in multiple places to be able to experience that.
There's also a sense in this region that local content is something that is important for the customer. Is there a sense there for Crunchyroll?
Yeah, so look, inherently we believe that anime has a connection to Japan, right? And so we believe for anime to be authentic, it has to have that roots back to Japan. And so our center of gravity, our core, is always the Japanese anime. Having said that, our fans want Chinese animation, Korean animation, anime inspired, produced elsewhere outside of Japan. And so we are increasing the content that we offer in those categories, but we are very clear with our fans on how we tag it and what we call them. In addition to that, we also truly believe that global stories can come from anywhere in the world. So we are actively looking for IP and stories around the world that we can then take back to creators in Japan and have them adapt those stories into anime. Solo Leveling is a great example. It's a South Korean manga. We took it to our Japanese partners and had them create anime from it. One of the biggest shows on Crunchyroll and in anime over the last 2 years. And so And we intend to do more of that. Look, when I think about Crunchyroll, I think of us as two things being true at the same time. We're an entertainment company and we are a technology company. As an entertainment company, I feel like we have a responsibility to preserve the creativity and the authenticity of anime because our fans have a profound connection with the human in that storytelling medium. And whether it be the creator, the voice actor, anybody else in the production ecosystem. So our approach on the creative side has been that this adoption has to be creator-led. So there is a ton of studios, creators in Japan that are actively testing, playing, experimenting with the technology. It's early days. So we're trying to not get ahead of them. We're trying to support them and see how they adopt. At the same time, like I said, we're a technology company. We owe it to our fans and to our business that we're taking advantage of the technology to make these experiences better. So we're using AI in building those exceptional experiences, whether it's personalization, discovery, recommendations, accessibility features. And at the same time, we're using it across the organization just to reimagine how we do work. So it is going to be a very different way of working across both of those spectrums in the next few years. So we're leaning in.